after we left? Last time we saw you, things looked dire.
It's a long story. We can talk about it after you do like Star Guy says and use the bathroom.
I don't need to.
Alright, but don't say I didn't warn you in church Grandpa makes you do faith crunches.
Wait, Raker's gonna do what?
It depends. But at some point, someone says my name, and then there's a little bit of pee.
Great. I did not want to know that.
Oh yeah, little fuzzy. Maybe the little bit of pee is you.
Nope.
Mantis! I've got so many questions.
I know, and I've got so many answers. Like, seize the means of production. Or, it's not just a rash. Or, yes, it is gluten-free.
Not the answers I was looking for, but now I'm wondering about the questions.
What questions?
How did you convince Lady Hellbender to meet us on Maklu 4? You weren't even with us when we decided to go.
Actually, convincing her to go after you wasn't hard at all. But convincing her to hear you out, whew, that was tough. I had to get all creepy mystical and spook her with warnings about what would happen otherwise.
You told her about the end of the universe, and she believed you?
Oh, no, not at first. But when I brought up all her precious monsters dying, she came around. Couldn't take that chance with her babies, you know?
What happened on Lamentis after we left? You said some people would survive, but that doesn't fare super well for the others.
Many of the elders died. They didn't resist the invasion, but they would never accept the promise. It isn't their way.
I'm sorry.
Don't be. Their sacrifice bought time for me and the Kotati to hide most of the others. They will emerge when the galaxy is saved.
So you were able to hide them in the caves. Hope you told them to stay away from the fog. Well, I'm glad to have you with us.
Oh, good, because you're not always glad.
Why not?
Well, sometimes I'm your ex-wife.
What?
I think she's pulling your leg, Quill.
It only ever happens the one time, but it's so funny. You're overwatering, Sir Groot.
Yeah, leave him alone. I tinker when I'm stressed, Groot waters, Gamora meditates, etc.
When I'm stressed, I concentrate real hard, and sometimes I can see the birth of the universe.
Hey, Rocket. Working on something?
I'm always working on something.
You're not listening to my tunes?
No, you turned the music on.
Then can I have my player back?
Why? You already got music playing.
Right. So you don't need the player to focus anymore.
You might turn it off.
Yeah, but...
What part of I need to focus don't you get, Quill?
What do you need to focus on so badly anyway?
Something that might give us a way to get through the Armada around Sacrosanct. Just in case Lady Skullsuit doesn't show up in time.
Nice. What is it?
You'll see.
Good thinking. Get the watering sorted out before we go.
He looks so sad, swishing around in his robes.
What'd he say?
Groot wants to water the Grand Unifier.
Oh, right.
The soaked unifier?
The Grand Humidity! Hey, Bug Lady, you see anything about this mission we should know about?
I don't see much. Or rather, I see too much.
Now that's a knife.
It is.
Drax, hey, I was just...
There is no need to explain yourself, Peter Quill. Unlike the rodent, I do not mind when others are curious about my things.
It's a really cool blade.
With an equally impressive history.
You recognize it?
It belonged to Zatar the Unfinished, a great Katathian warrior king who led the first pilgrimage to Maklu 4.
Wait, so you're saying this is basically Excalibur?
I am unfamiliar with such a weapon.
It's a mythical sword belonging to a famous Earth King.
And yes, I suppose you could say this is the Excalibur of my people. It is a symbol of a king and the great hunt he inspired for those seeking to regain a place in Ultath.
So, this great hunt thing seems like a bigger deal than I thought. Did we mess it up for everyone by capturing Fin Fang Foom?
What do you mean?
Well, its purpose is to regain entry into Catathian heaven and stuff, and now there's no Foom to, send you there.
Peter Quill. There are many paths to Ultath. The pilgrimage to Maklu is but one of them.
Right.
When Thanos murdered my family and destroyed my village, twice I chose the path of revenge. First, I raised a small army of Catathian warriors. Even outnumbered, we cut our way through the Chitauri line and challenged Thanos himself.
Wait. On Catath, you faced Thanos twice during the Galactic War?
Yes. But I was not strong enough the first time.
Strong enough to survive?
Thanos allowed me and a few others to live, to set an example. Defeated and humiliated, the surviving members of my squad chose to make the pilgrimage to Maklu. But I could not. I continued to walk the path of revenge. Until you helped me put the ghosts of Hovat and Camaria to rest.
To be fair, I had a lot of help.
And yet you have given me a new purpose, Peter Quill. Seems my destiny was not in the mountains of Kakarantara after all, but here, on this ship, with you.
Sounds like a hero of yours.
King Zatar. And he is. Every Catathian warrior knows the story of his pilgrimage to Maklu.
Why is he called Zatar the Unfinished, then?
In the history of my people, a rival king attacked Zatar's lands, easily overwhelming his forces. Captured and broken, Zatar challenged the rival king to a fight to the death, but the conqueror refused, banishing him to a life of dishonor and disgrace instead. So King Zatar went to Maklu to challenge the mighty Fin Fang Foom and change his destiny.
Well, that's depressing.
How is it depressing?
Because he obviously failed. Fin Fang Foom's still alive and kicking, mostly.
He did not fail, Peter Quill. King Zatar did not vanquish Fin Fang Foom, it is true. But he did redeem himself in the eyes of his people.
By dying? Not exactly a happy ending.
By never giving up. A warrior only truly dies when he stops living. King Zatar proved that our stories, the records of who we were in life, are ours to shape. He could have died a coward who lost his place in Ultath, or he could do what I and many of my people believe he did, change the ending of his story.
Well, I'm glad you're here with us now. I can't guarantee where our path will take us, but hopefully somewhere with lots of money and comfort.
I do not have a doubt in my heart, Peter Quill, that we will have moderate success.
I'll accept moderate.
In retrospect, our team was eclectic on that first mission. Peter Quill, spar with me.
I think I'll pass, Drax. I don't want to get tired before the real fight. I wonder if he knows what it is.
He does.
Mantis! Groot! Hey!
Hey, Star Guy.
Shouldn't you be keeping this in the fridge since it came from Maklu?
Just like you, Sir Groot.
What did he say?
Oh, just that with the right care, the plant you gave him can survive pretty much anywhere, even on spaceships. I can see why you'd want plants in space. It's so...
Empty?
Yes, dark. And gloomy and doomy. Blech. I prefer home to be on the ground. Aw, such a cutie. And if you can't go to your planet, make your planet come to you. Wait, does that make Little Fuzzy your maintenance mammal?
Maintenance mammals? There were creatures like Rocket on your homeworld.
Oh, yes. He says there were lots of little furry babies on Tolunia.
Tolunia.
You know, Planet X.
Ah.
But Little Fuzzy wasn't one of them. He's one of a kind. The maintenance mammals on Tolunia were servants to Groot's people.
Gross.
That's terrible!
What?
He says the other saplings were big meanies to the maintenance mammals. They'd hurt them. For fun. But Sir Groot says he preferred their company over his people because they were super smart and nice. He says their kindness reminds him of Little Fuzzy.
Really? Rocket?
Aw, you big sweetie. He says he couldn't protect his friends on Planet X, but he can protect Rocket.
He's lucky to have you, man. Hell, we're all lucky to have you.
Now hug.
Oh,
Maybe later?
what was your home like? You know, before?
Beautiful. He says he wanted to be a forest caretaker, so he could spend time caring for all the wonderful plants that grew there.
What stopped you?
His dad. Sir Groot's a prince? Just like you, Star Guy.
Wait, your dad was a king?
A big meanie. He says his dad and the other Arbor Masters were corrupt. They favored the few over the many and turned sentient mammals into slaves.
Why are all dads that happen to be kings always dicks?
Yeah, power sucks. Even the wisest tree and purest water can be poisoned. Sir Groot says it's up to us to be the antidote. Gardening helps him find purpose and healing.
I get it. My mom loved her garden.
Me too.
Well, if there's anything I can do to help you with your garden or make the Milano feel more like home, let me know.
He says thank you, Pete.
Raker's going down this time, Gamora. I promise you.
And I promise you, I'm getting Nikki out of there. No matter what.
We will get her out.
Together.
Together.
Bet those moves are really going to impress Lady Hellbender.
I do not need to impress her. Besting the great Fin Fang Foom is proof enough of my combat skills.
Yeah, that would do it.
I'm not sure Lady Hellbender was really impressed with how we handled that fight. You know, since we accidentally killed that dragon before Groot revived him.
Would you not be impressed by a man slaying a dragon?
Maybe if he does it without my help.
So, how was it riding along with Lady Hellbender? Did she have you try on battle armor?
Oh, no. She's very respectful of other women's bodily autonomy.
Really?
Oh, cute.
She wanted to
That's
know
from
if you'd give her
Maclu,
your
right?
bomb recipe.
Better not make
Sir
toxic
Groot
spores
praised your
like those
skills at
big ones
length
in the forest.
captivity.
Wonder what would have happened
You
if
don't
we
gotta
hadn't hidden
apologize,
Cammy
bud.
in there.
Look, she can get my
No
bomb
way we
recipe
could have
if she
escaped after
pays for it.
Drax locked us in.
No, not like that.
What is it?
Your angle of attack was off. You have to go at it from the inside out, especially since Raker's body armor has inward folds.
A tactically sound observation.
I noticed it made a big difference when I had to assassinate a congregation of Badoon dignitaries. They were wearing so many layers.
Man, this thing is ugly.
What made you...
Thought we could use it if we ever need to hide our identity during a job or something.
First of all, a Glarnot mask ain't no identity.
Glarnot, they're that gang from the planet that rains emeralds or something, right? Or am I confusing them?
It's diamonds.
Oh yeah!
And B, there's only 2 jobs I've ever needed a mask. The time me and Groot knocked over a top-secret lab.
Really?
Oh yeah. The other time was when I borrowed a Glarnot mask and accidentally stole Groot from the Collector.
When did you guys rob a secret lab?
It was before we came after you. This Signog named Wheeler reached out to me and Groot. Wanted us to steal a bioweapon from some research lab in Arago 7. Piece of cake for a crack team like me and Groot.
Wait. And Groot wore a mask for this?
Man, you should have seen him, Quill. Bark naked except for the stupid mask of Thanos. It was fucking hilarious.
Yeah, I bet.
That was until we realized the eggheads on Arago actually hired Wheeler to get us there.
6 out of 10 times it's a trap.
Yup. Turns out they wanted to study us. My implants, Groot's regeneration, super valuable to the right bidder. By the time I realized what was up, they'd got Groot. Locked him in a freaking cage, Quill. Like an animal.
That's terrible.
Yep, well, joke's on them. We weren't about to be turned into science experiments anytime soon, so I went with Plan B. One explosive charge later, and ba-boom, we were home free.
And the bioweapon?
Sold it back to Wheeler for triple the price.
Nice.
Yep. Those were the days.
How'd you accidentally steal Groot?
You have to understand, Quill. I was on the run back then. The war was still raging strong, and them Kree scientists weren't exactly happy I left Half-World. I had to keep a low profile.
By robbing the Collector?
I was broke. And no offense, but the way the Collector plasters his face all over nowhere like he owns the place.
He doesn't own the place.
Someone had to knock him off his stupid flarkin' pedestal. Fact that I was drunk when I did it just makes it funnier.
Is there a bounty out for you that I should know about?
Relax. Anyways, I lifted one of them stupid Glarnot masks from some passed out jerk at Mantlos, stumbled my way to the Collector's Emporium, put on the mask, flashed some shiny rocks I found, and when his assistant's back was turned, I bonked him on the head.
Oh, you're unbelievable.
I know. It was gravy after that. Once I was sure he was out, I started cleaning out the place. Woke up the next morning on a stolen transport with a bag of loot and Groot. Of course, he was just a baby back then. Barely taller than a weed.
Aw, baby Groot.
I knew right then and there that I had to take care of him. A cage ain't no place for guys like us. We've been partners in crime ever since.
That I believe.
Believe what you want, Quill. Truth is truth.
I'll just put this back.